Chapter 2. Zoe has an idea. On Tuesday evening the next week, Zoe and her friend Annie are drinking coffee in the Newport Cafe. Annie is a student at Newport College, and sometimes in the evenings she and Zoe meet at the cafe. Suddenly, Zoe sees a boy sitting at a table across the room. "Who's that boy?" she asks Annie. Annie laughs. "Do you like him? He has a nice face," she says. "His name's Mike. I often see him at the college." "Mike?" Zoe says. "Mike who?" "Mike Morrison," Annie says. "That's Mike Morrison?" Zoe says. She is furious. "Yes, why?" Annie asks. "He writes reviews for the Newport Weekly News," Zoe says. "That's right," Annie says. "His aunt is the editor. Oh." She stops suddenly and looks at Zoe. "The review of Romeo and Juliet." "Right," Zoe says. "Do you remember it? Zoe Baker acts the part of Juliet's mother. She has a pretty face and she speaks her words well. But she is a young girl in an older woman's costume, and we all know it. Nice face or no nice face, I hate him." Annie laughs. "Okay, go and tell him," she says. "Go and say, 'I hate you, Mike Morrison. You write stupid reviews for the newspaper. Go on.'" But Zoe isn't laughing. "Yes, all right," she says furiously, and she begins to get up from her chair. Then she stops suddenly. "What's wrong?" Annie asks. "Are you afraid?" "No," Zoe says. "I have a better idea. Does he come into this cafe often?" "Every Tuesday and Thursday evening, I think," Annie says. "He has a writing class at the college, and he comes here after it finishes." Zoe thinks for a minute or two. "That's very interesting," she says at last. "Is it?" Annie says. She looks across at Mike Morrison, then at Zoe. "Why is it interesting? What are you thinking of doing?" "Tell me, am I a good actress?" Zoe asks. "Yes, you are," Annie says. "But—" "Okay," Zoe says. "I'm a good actress, and I want to prove it to Mr. Mike Niceface Morrison." "How do you want to do that?" Annie asks. Zoe smiles and begins to tell Annie about her idea.